I swear, if I had not forgotten my passport on the kitchen counter that evening, none of this would have happened. I was already halfway to the airport, excited, mentally preparing for my software engineering conference in Seattle, when something deep inside me whispered, "Go back." Maybe it was fate, maybe it was God, or maybe betrayal always finds its way into the light. I parked outside the house, annoyed but calm, thinking the worst thing I'd face was traffic on the way back. But the moment I stepped through the front door, something felt wrong. My home didn't sound the same. No TV, no music, just muffled movement and whispers. At first, I thought maybe Annabel was watching something with headphones on, but the whispers continued, soft, strained, breathless. You know that feeling when your heart starts pounding before your mind understands why? That was me, standing frozen in the living room, backpack still on my shoulder, trying to convince myself I wasn't hearing what I was hearing. I slowly climbed the stairs. Every step felt heavier. My throat dried up. My palms were sweating. It felt like the walls were closing in. Then I heard it clearly. A familiar voice. A voice I grew up trusting. A voice I never expected to hear in that situation. David, my stepfather. My own stepfather. Annabel's voice followed, shaky, breathless. The kind of voice that destroys a man from the inside out. My heart dropped so hard, I thought I would collapse right there. I remember standing outside my bedroom door, hearing the sound of the bed frame hitting the wall, and for a second, I genuinely couldn't breathe. What would you have done? Walk in immediately? Stand there in shock? Or run away and pretend you didn't hear anything? Tell me in the comments. I need to know. I pushed the door open slowly, but the scene inside hit me like a truck. Sheets everywhere, clothes scattered, and the two people I loved and trusted the most tangled together on MY bed. When Annabel screamed, it wasn't out of shame. It was because she didn't expect me home for another 3 days. David sat up instantly, eyes wide, his face drained of color. For a moment, nobody spoke. Not them, not me. It felt like the whole world froze. My voice cracked when I finally said, "David? Annabel? What is this?" But what hurt the most wasn't what they did. It was the look they gave me. A look that said this wasn't the first time. Before I tell you what happened next, before I show you how deep the betrayal went, I need you to stay with me till the end of this story. Please like, share, and subscribe. Not just to support the channel, but to help reduce the pain of betrayal I still feel every single day. And as you watch, ask yourself one thing. If the people you trusted the most destroyed your heart in a single moment, how would you survive it?
Welcome to True Crime Diaries Vault, the place where every file tells a story and every story pulls you deeper into the unknown. Here, we unlock real-life mysteries, revisit chilling investigations, and open the vault on crimes that still haunt families, detectives, and entire communities. Every episode takes you inside the minds of criminals, the footsteps of victims, and the evidence that changes everything. If you crave true stories, real cases, and the truth hidden in the shadows, then you're in the right place. This is not just another crime channel. This is True Crime Diaries Vault, where every secret eventually comes to light. Subscribe and step into the vault.
I'm John, a software engineer living in California, and this story, I've been holding it in for months. I regret not telling it sooner because the weight of betrayal, confusion, and heartbreak has been unbearable. Today, I'm finally sharing everything that happened to me, the story that changed my life forever. But before I begin, I want to ask you, my viewers, where are you watching from? Are you in the United States, the United Kingdom, or somewhere else entirely? Leave it in the comments. I want to know. I had always believed that love and family were supposed to be safe, predictable, dependable. For the past 4 months, though, I've been noticing small signs, little moments that I couldn't quite put my finger on. Maybe you've been in a situation where something felt off, but you couldn't prove it. That feeling gnawed at me day and night. And yes, I'm a software engineer, so logic has always been my anchor, my way to make sense of the world. But even I couldn't debug what was happening in my own life. Let me introduce the key players. My stepfather, David married my mother when I was a teenager. On the surface, he was a supportive, friendly figure, someone who blended into the family easily. And then there's Annabel, my fiancée. She's vibrant, intelligent, and someone I truly thought I'd spend the rest of my life with. But over the past 4 months, both of them gave themselves away in ways I didn't understand at the time. It started with small, almost innocuous things. I remember one evening, I came home from work, long hours debugging a software project, and noticed David lingering too long in the living room after Annabel and I had finished dinner. I brushed it off. I thought maybe he just wanted to talk or needed help with something. But the next day, Annabel seemed distant. Did you ever notice someone you love acting different around someone else, and you just can't let it go? That was my first warning sign. Then there were subtle interactions that I couldn't explain. Texts popping up late at night on Annabel's phone, sometimes quickly hidden when I walked into the room. David's excuses when I asked questions seemed just a little too rehearsed, almost like he was protecting a secret. And I, being me, questioned my own perception. Maybe I was overthinking, maybe my mind was just stressed from work. Have you ever felt that confusion? That fear that maybe you're imagining things? I want to know. Comment below if you've ever felt that gut-wrenching uncertainty. The next incident was at a friend's wedding in New York. I had brought both David and Annabel with me, thinking family and friends would be a great distraction. But I noticed David and Annabel exchanging glances across the room. Glances that didn't make sense to me at the time. Was I being paranoid? I asked myself that question endlessly. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong, and I started looking for signs in every word, every gesture, every interaction. By this point, I was emotionally exhausted. I wanted to talk to Annabel, to David, to confront them, but my fear of the truth kept me silent. Can you imagine living with suspicion, yet loving these people? Does anyone watching right now understand that feeling? If you do, comment and tell me. Sharing it somehow makes the hurt lighter, doesn't it? There were moments that I now realize were deliberate hints, though I didn't see them at the time. Little touches, late-night private conversations, excuses to be alone together. And here's the thing. Every single time I tried to dismiss it, the signs grew bolder. I questioned myself constantly. Am I imagining things? Is this paranoia? Or is it real? Then came the evening that changed everything. I was returning from a short business trip to London, supposed to leave for another project in Chicago the following morning. But I came back a few hours earlier than planned. Wanted to prepare my work and relax. And that was when I walked in and saw them together. The stepfather I trusted, the fiancé I loved, on my bed. The betrayal hit me so hard that I couldn't breathe. Everything I had believed about love, loyalty, and family shattered in an instant. I want to ask you if you ever saw something so shocking in your own home. Could you forgive it? Could you survive it? Comment below, because I need to know if anyone else has endured this level of heartbreak. I know sharing this publicly will hurt, but I also know it will help. I'm begging you, if you're watching, like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps me carry this pain, and maybe, just maybe, it helps others who are going through similar betrayals. The hurt becomes a little lighter when you realize you're not alone. For months, I regretted not telling the story, keeping the anguish locked inside. I thought it was private, that no one would understand, but now, I need to share every detail. Every hint I missed, every suspicious glance, every late-night message that all matters. And I want you to see it through my eyes. The day I walked in that evening, nothing could have prepared me for the sight I saw. My stepfather, David, someone I had trusted my whole life, and Annabel, the woman I had planned to marry, were on my bed. I froze, my body refusing to move, my mind screaming for understanding. How could two people I loved so deeply betray me in the most intimate way imaginable? Can you imagine that feeling? If you've ever been blindsided by someone close, comment below. I need to know if anyone else has felt this kind of shock. It all made sense in that horrifying instant. The secret glances, the hidden texts, the whispers that I overheard but couldn't understand. Looking back, I see now how obvious it was. But at the time, I was blinded by denial and hope. I wanted to believe that what I was seeing wasn't real, that my mind was playing tricks on me. Have you ever wished desperately that reality was just a nightmare you could wake up from? That was me, frozen, heart pounding, unable to comprehend reality before me. I remember dropping my bag silently by the door, trying not to make a sound. David and Annabel didn't notice me at first, and that split second of shock made everything even more surreal. I wanted to scream, to throw something, to demand an explanation, but my voice was trapped in my chest. All I could do was watch, each second stretching into eternity. And then, my mind began replaying the past 4 months. Every small sign I had missed, every warning I had ignored. There were moments when I thought I was imagining things. Annabel canceling plans with me to help David with errands, late-night phone calls she claimed were from work, and David spending an unusual amount of time alone with her. Were these coincidences, or were they calculated? I tried to rationalize, telling myself, maybe I'm overthinking it, maybe it's nothing, but my gut never stopped screaming that something was wrong. When I finally managed to speak, my voice trembling, I asked, "What is going on here?" The room froze. Their faces went from surprise to guilt in a fraction of a second. That moment, the raw realization that I had been betrayed, is something I will never forget. And as I stood there, heart pounding, I realized that the life I had built, the trust one had placed in them, and the plans I had for the future were all gone in an instant. The first call I made was not to the police, not to anyone else. It was to myself, trying to process the devastation. I wanted to share this with someone, anyone, to release the unbearable weight. And that's why I'm telling you now, watching this video, that the betrayal we experience alone can be unbearable, but sharing it, even with strangers, helps to heal even a little. I want to ask again, where are you watching from? Are you in the United States, the United Kingdom, or somewhere else? Sharing this story helps me feel less alone, and I hope commenting and share your own experiences helps you too. I'm begging you, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Every single click helps me, and it helps others who might be suffering in silence. After the initial shock, I had to begin piecing together the events leading up to that moment. How long had this been going on? What signals had I missed? The next days were filled with quiet observation, subtle questions, and emotional exhaustion. Every interaction with David and Annabel was a minefield. I started noticing patterns, subtle touches, whispered phone calls, and hurried departures. Does this sound familiar to anyone watching? Have you ever noticed someone acting suspiciously, and it left you paralyzed with doubt? I began documenting everything, from small text messages to fleeting glances. Even my friends started noticing my distracted behavior. I wanted to talk to someone about it, but feared judgment or disbelief. Do you ever feel like no one would believe the truth if you told it? That was me, day after day, slowly unraveling inside, while keeping a facade of normalcy. The pain of betrayal, especially by someone you call family, is different from any other heartbreak. It's a mixture of anger, confusion, and profound sadness. And even now, months later, I regret not sharing this story sooner. The silence only made the hurt grow heavier. That's why I'm begging you, like, subscribe, share, and comment. Help me release some of this weight. Your support might just make the pain a little lighter. After the shocking evening, I knew I couldn't stay passive. My life had been turned upside down, and I had to understand the depth of the betrayal. I began observing David and Annabel more closely, trying to piece together the puzzle that had haunted me for months. It wasn't easy. Every smile they shared, every conversation, felt like a dagger twisting in my chest. Do you know that feeling when someone you trusted so completely suddenly becomes a stranger? That's exactly what it was like. I started asking subtle questions about their days, about their whereabouts, about little inconsistencies I had noticed over the past 4 months. David always had an excuse ready, something plausible yet vague, as if he had rehearsed it for months. Annabel, too, seemed nervous, careful not to meet my eyes too long, her laughter sometimes a little too forced. Have you ever caught someone acting differently and tried to convince yourself it was normal, only to feel your stomach churn with doubt? That was me, every day, silently taking notes in my mind. Being a software engineer, logic and evidence are my anchors. I began collecting pieces of information like a puzzle. Texts that disappeared too quickly receipts that didn't match what they said, and even small gestures that now seem obvious in hindsight. Every time I noticed a sign, a flicker of suspicion would spark, and then I'd ask myself, am I overreacting or is this real? Can anyone relate to that tug of war between gut instinct and rational doubt? Comment if you've been there. There were days I could hardly function. I tried throwing myself into work, debugging lines of code, focusing on deadlines, but my mind always returned to them. Every glance, every smile, every whispered conversation between David and Annabel felt like proof. Yet I wanted so badly to believe it wasn't real. It's amazing how denial can make you see what isn't there, or make you miss what is right in front of you. Then came the subtle signs that confirmed my fears. Annabel would avoid eye contact in the mornings, pretending to be tired or busy. David started being helpful in ways that now feel manipulative, always offering to run errands together, always finding reasons to be alone with her. The intensity grew, and I began documenting everything. I even replayed scenarios in my head, questioning my reactions, wondering if I was imagining it all. But the unease only escalated. Have you ever had that gut feeling that something is wrong, but every day you ignore it because the truth is too painful to face? That's exactly what I went through. I also reached out to friends in Texas, New York, and London, asking for advice without giving away the details. Their responses were mixed. Some told me to confront them directly. Others said to gather evidence first. I realized I couldn't rely solely on anyone else. This was my life, my heart, and I needed to understand the truth before taking any action. Weeks turned into months, and the weight of the betrayal began to take a toll on me emotionally. Sleepless nights, moments of anger, waves of sadness. I felt all of it. I regretted not speaking up sooner, not trusting my instincts earlier, not protecting myself from the looming disaster. And yet, there was still a part of me holding on to hope. Hope that somehow they would confess, that somehow this nightmare could end without utter devastation. During these months, I often asked myself questions I couldn't answer alone. Could Annabel really betray me so completely? How could David, someone I call family, stoop so low? Did they plan this in the beginning, or was it a gradual slip into deception? And then I realized these questions were eating me alive. I needed resolution. I needed truth. If you're watching right now, I want you to understand the pain of betrayal. I'm begging you to like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps me carry the hurt and sadness, even a little. It also helps others who have suffered in silence realize they're not alone. The months of observation and doubt finally led to small breakthroughs. I noticed patterns, hidden glances, secret conversations, and finally, the undeniable truth that I've been dreading. The signs were everywhere, and yet I felt paralyzed. What would confrontation mean? How could I face the people I once loved and trusted? How would my life ever be the same? I share all of this with you because silence only makes betrayal heavier. Sharing it, asking questions, engaging with others, it helps the heart heal, even slightly. So please, comment below if you've ever felt the gut-wrenching pain of betrayal. Tell me where you're watching from, and help me turn this story into something that makes a difference. As this story is about to come to a close, know that the worst is yet to be revealed. The discovery, the confrontation, and the consequences are coming next. And I promise you, what happens next is beyond what anyone could imagine. After months of doubt, observation, and emotional exhaustion, I knew I couldn't ignore the truth any longer. The signs were undeniable, and the betrayal had finally revealed itself completely. It was the evening I had returned early from a business trip to Chicago, a day I'll never forget. I had been planning to leave for a client meeting the next morning, but fate brought me back hours earlier, and that decision saved me from living in ignorance a single second longer. As I entered my apartment, a strange silence hung in the air. Normally, there would be the faint hum of the television or the sound of Annabel preparing dinner, but that evening, there was nothing. My instincts screamed that something was off. I slowly moved toward my bedroom, heart pounding in my chest, palms sweaty, mind racing through every warning sign I had ignored over the last 4 months. And then I saw them, my stepfather, David, and my fiancée, Annabel, together in a way no words could have prepared me for. My knees nearly gave out. and I had to grab the door frame to stay upright. I could feel every emotion at once: anger, disbelief, heartbreak, and a deep, aching sense of betrayal. My voice caught in my throat, but somehow I forced out the question, What is going on here? Their reactions were instantaneous. David froze, guilt plastered across his face, while Annabel's eyes widened in shock. But that shock quickly turned into panic. And in that moment, I realized just how far betrayal had gone. Every suspicious glance, every secret conversation, every subtle sign over the past 4 months, all of it made sense in an instant. I want to ask you, if you had been watching this unfold in real life, what would you do? Would you confront them immediately, or would you stay silent, trying to process the enormity of a situation? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I need to know how others would react when trust is shattered so completely. I stepped closer, my emotions boiling over, and demanded answers. David tried to explain, fumbling over words, but every excuse sounded hollow, rehearsed, and full of deception. Annabel, too, tried to justify herself, but the weight of her guilt was visible in every gesture. It was a surreal confrontation, a painful collision of truth, lies, and shattered trust. Over the next few days, I began piecing together everything that had happened while they thought I was oblivious. Secret texts, hidden meetings, and subtle signals revealed the depth of the betrayal. It was not a single mistake. It had been a series of choices, decisions that knowingly hurt me, chosen over my trust, my love, and my family. I couldn't believe that someone I called family and someone I planned to marry could do this to me. During this period, I started documenting everything, recording dates, messages, and interactions. I needed proof, not for revenge, but for understanding. How could they betray me so completely? How could trust be replaced with deceit in a matter of months? I also wanted to share my story with you, my viewers, because the weight of betrayal is unbearable when carried alone. If you're watching, I urge you to like, share, and subscribe. Your engagement doesn't just support this channel. It helps me, and anyone who has experienced heartbreak, feel less alone. The confrontation eventually led to emotional arguments, tense silences, and finally, confessions. Both David and Annabel admitted to the secret. And in that moment, every question I had asked myself over the last 4 months was answered. The devastation was overwhelming. I remember thinking, could life ever feel normal again? Could I forgive, or would the betrayal remain a scar forever? In the aftermath, I reached out to friends and family in New York, London, and California, sharing the truth and seeking advice. Their responses varied. Some were angry on my behalf, some advised cutting ties immediately, and others simply listened, offering the comfort of acknowledgement. Where are you watching from? Can you relate to the feeling of needing someone to validate your pain? Comment below. I want to hear your experiences. The betrayal not only fractured my trust, but also reshaped my understanding of love, loyalty, and family. David moved out, attempting to distance himself from the fallout, while Annabel and I had to navigate the painful reality of broken engagement and shattered dreams. I often ask myself, how do you rebuild when everything familiar turns against you? Can trust ever return, or is it permanently lost once shattered? Even now, months later, I reflect on the regret of not telling this story sooner. Sharing it publicly brings some relief, a small weight lifted from my chest, and I hope it can do the same for anyone watching. The heartbreak, confusion, and pain of betrayal are universal, and the act of telling your story, asking questions, sharing your feelings, can be the first step toward healing. Finally, I want to leave you with a question. If someone close to you betrayed your trust in the most intimate way, what would you do? How would you cope? And how would you rebuild your life? Comment below. I read every message, and your thoughts mean more than you know. And please, if you followed the story so far, like, share, and subscribe. Every click helps me carry the weight of this story, and it might help someone out there going through a similar nightmare. Betrayal is a heavy burden, but sharing it together makes it lighter. The story doesn't end here. In the next video, we will explore the emotional fallout, the confrontation with friends and family, and how justice or closure finally came for me. You won't want to miss it.